All right, welcome back to the 5-digit United States Cup. It's a little bit of a hectic evening here, but we're back on the C stream with Georgia A versus Maryland A in the losers bracket of Major League. Georgia, not a name you would expect to see down here, especially after their performance last year, finishing second, but of course losing so many of the strong players, losing Ribbon, Pyman, Ray, and Glix Hunter, and bringing up some players as well as, I believe, a spawn in Mr. General H, of course promoting Mr. Throne and AC 01010 to join their pre-existing members. Going to be coming up from, or down from the round of 16 after upper bracket after losing a close affair up against Pennsylvania there. Of course, that was the Remexia Venom Puffs duo to take them down and knock them down in here. And Maryland's coming off of a bye in losers round of 16, losing to Massachusetts in the round of 32, and then Puerto Rico unfortunately having to forfeit. Of course, we'd love to see our Puerto Rican brethren in 5USC, but unfortunately not able to make anything happen this year, despite qualifying for Major League. So Maryland yet to win a match this year. We do already have those bans coming through, of course, banning out the easy one. You see Tarragon on the other side. You see Yan Yan. You see Who was it? To check my notes again, even though I saw them just just a few days ago. Yeah, you see AC, you see Tarragon on the other side. You're just spanning that out. And it's going to be a DT2 first pick for Georgia as they go into mechanics after banning, I believe it was the Hardock 1 DT1, some high AR aim consistency. I mean, of course, looking at Zella for that. Probably just the strongest player. Also Sunny Bunny as well, finally on a high refresh rate monitor. So able to play those high AR maps and already having some incredible aim on Nomad and Hidden. Probably some pretty good targeted bans. And of course, if you're looking at the tapping roster of Maryland, you're definitely not looking at Zella, especially for a map as difficult as this one. The other tapping players, you're probably looking at Better Meeman and maybe Hola Banana. I mean, I guess Calico Cat is in there as well, and we do see Hola Banana and Calico Cat both in here accompanying Better Meeman. So that is their 3-man tapping roster. But on the other side, you're looking at Yan Yan and General H. Some pretty good performances. General H, a spawn, still a little bit of an unknown value, but tapping is their main skill set. And of course, Yan Yan, a part of that winning roster. Last year, tapping was their main skill set. It was what they were specialized in, so this should be a pretty strong first pick for Georgia. Of course, Shogeki looks to have derusted in the past week. Not playing tapping last week, but in for this one now. And that is even without Tarragon in the lobby as well. So a bit of an interesting way for Georgia to start things off, but it should be fine. Shogeki finding a little bit of early struggles in this map. So we will see. Hola Banana finally going to be the first break on the side of Maryland, as this is just a bit of a BPM comfort check as sort of easing into the map. Better Meeman also going to be finding his break. 16-note stream, not going to be catching out anyone. It's just Calico Cat and Yan Yan on the FCs to match. Score still on a knife's edge as we have yet to see this map explode either way. But double break from Better Meeman and Hola Banana could start pushing things in the favor of Georgia. Going to be that's a Bancho break from General H. And yeah, these recoveries on Shogeki and General H coming in to support Yan Yan, and 50k is the name of the game. Looking at the accuracies, Better Meeman all the way down to 82%. My goodness, that is definitely more than making up for this entire score deficit, I would say. Shogeki going to be dropping his recovery, however, and once again, the recoveries start to come in from Maryland as Calico holds onto the FC, matching Yan Yan, doing everything that he can, but just not enough support from the rest of his team at the moment. And there goes Better Meeman again as General H continues his recovery. Hola Banana trailing a little bit behind him, but it might just be a little bit too far. Big 32-knot stream. Going to be catching Shogeki's recovery, but it's just the recoveries are just not there. Yes, Shogeki keeps on breaking, but General H, 700, now 800 combo, and that is the main story for this point. Finally going to be dropping into the dying breaths of this map, but despite Calico Cat matching the FC of Yan Yan, it is a 300k score gap, and Georgia going to be picking up the first point. That is a little bit of a stinker of a score from Better Meme, and it has to be said. 79%. Does have only one miss, but plenty of slider breaks, and that's not even 200k score. I mean, looking on the other side as well, Shogeki, C-rank 85%, 250k. So they do have players who can play the map in Yan Yan and Calico Cat, but supporting scores not really there for either team, but a little bit more there for the side of Georgia. As we go into Maryland's pick, they are pretty good at the ult. Of course, Zella on the team, the captain, John Alt himself. I'm going to be looking at returning member Skins1 Fan1, also good on the hidden ult. Might be looking at a hidden 3 first pick. Of course, you are picking hidden gimmick into Tarragon at that point. So she might just drop an FC on your head. But maybe more something more like the Force Mod 1 or the No Mod 3, something that is a little bit more accessible for lower skill cap players. It's gonna be a No Mod 4 pick first, and yeah, this still makes sense within that tech alt gimmicky control skill set family, although this one is a bit more on the aim heavy side. It's a pretty aim heavy map. It's Mir Mech Tech mapped by Mir. So some of the jumps between the sliders, the spacing, and the awkward motion, it's gonna be pretty tricky. Zella and Tarragon having their usual exchange of hello, period. Taking a quick look at these teams' stats. Going back to qualifiers, this was one of the maps that Maryland winning out on, and actually by quite a large margin. Is also the same rosters as qualifiers, Tarragon, Mr. Throne, and it's actually Shogeki over Yan Yan now. Of course, pencil in a little bit of a more extreme variant of tech, the sliders only almost. I think that map is almost 100% sliders, no normal hit circles. But this roster from Sunny Bunny, Hola Banana, and Zella able to put up 2 FCs on qualifier weekend for a team score of over 2 million. So this should be a pretty good pick for them. Tarragon did put up an FC herself, but the 2 supporting scores from that lobby were insufficient to match the supporting score from Maryland back then. Zella with almost 500k on that map, but we are getting into this one here. As you can see, it's just some pretty standard bursts and slider action. Gonna be pretty heavy on the aim as well. So it'll find a little bit of an early miss in the intro here. So not the best of starts, but you are looking at Sunny Bunny and Hola Banana for a repeat performance of what happened in quals. It's gonna be Hola Banana breaking on the burst as we get into the first Ki section, but there goes Mr. Throne as well not long later. Sunny Bunny also gonna be breaking slider break, trade up by Shogeki, so it's just Tarragon holding on at the moment, and I mean, we might be seeing a load of a hello from her on this one. We'll see how long she can hold on to this. Zella gonna need the recovery to try and match her. The accuracies do mean that things are still staying quite close. 94, 93 on Hola Banana, but there goes Zella as well, and now things should start to tip in favor of Georgia. Zella's 95% doing good work, especially compared to Shogeki's 91, the lowest in the lobby. But Tarragon in this FC, I mean, we are playing a combo game after all, and what could be much better? And there's the hello. Hello, Tarragon. Could be better than a 500 combo going into the back half of this map, and there's just nothing on the side of Maryland at the moment. Hola Banana missing on some of the aim as well in the build-up, and yeah, this should just be Tarragon dribbling things into the goal, taking things home. For Georgia on a break point. We'll finally be breaking in between the double streams, not even on the double streams themselves, and yeah, that is a point secured for Georgia. Maryland feeling the heat of this map pool, the increased skill cap requirement. not quite able to replicate anything that happened in quals for them. I did think this would be quite a good pick for Maryland, you know, winning on the tech and also winning on every single one of the aim picks, every single one. Nomad 1, Hidden 1 even, Hardock 1, and DT1 in quals. But I mean, I think at this point it really is some skill cap gifts, some skill cap troubles as this pool is. I mean, it's been said a lot this weekend, and we're going to keep on saying it. This pool is pretty hard. It's going to be a Nomad 2 to follow up the DT2, and I mean, we've seen this pattern a good bit already. The team picks DT2, gets the win, and picks Nomad 2. Alternatively, a team picks Nomad 2, gets the win, and picks DT2. Quick note, we do seem to have a tiebreaker on the way on B-Stream, so make sure to check out the multi-stream. Of course, the link has already been prepared for you. In-stream announce on that big blue text that says click here for multi-stream. But yeah, this should just be... I mean, actually, this map is a little bit different than DT2, however, it is much more flowing focus, it has to be said. And because of that, we're actually going to be seeing Shogeki step out for this one, maybe not fully derusted as we did see. A bit of an interesting performance from him earlier. Better Meeman, maybe the lower BPM also going to be helping Better Meeman out, as we do need to see a lot better of a score from him, especially with Tarragon stepping in the lobby. Still going to be General H and Yan Yan to cover the other two slots for Georgia, and Sunny Bunny and Hola Banana, the same two. Or not the same two, in fact, excuse me, it was not Sunny Bunny in for the DT2. But now coming in for something that's a little bit more aim-centric, a little bit more accessible in terms of the tapping BPM, is Yan Yan struggling to get into the map, and as Banjo has done to us so many times tonight already. I do assume most of those are Banjo breaks, yes, they are. And we are finally getting into things. So as you can see, lots of Axel, D-Cell, and of course the sudden stops on the triple into the reverse slider there. Going to be testing your ability to start and stop Axel, D-Cell on these streams. Also a couple cut streams here. We do see some early breaks in. It's going to be Better Meeman trading out Tarragon and General H and Yan also dropping their combos a little bit later. So Maryland actually with the combo advantage here. Hola Banana and Sunny Money still holding on to their FCs as there's none on the side of Georgia. And that is going to be 90k break, almost 100k at the break. As after the break, it will go over 100k. Good accuracies, still a bit of a saving grace for Georgia's Tarragon and Yan Yan. Yan Yan at 98, Tarragon at 96. Meanwhile, 96, the highest on the side of Maryland, that is Sunny Bunny's accuracy, but Tarragon dropping her recovery. That was the biggest recovery on Georgia, and this is quickly getting out of hand from Maryland as they look to take back a break point early on, and we are in for a bit of a brawl here. On a minute, though. Better Meeman does drop his recovery, and it is just Sunny Bunny on the lone FC at the moment. Still a 300,000 score lead. Yan Yan on a reverse choke and not really having a lot of support behind him. Gonna be matched by Hola Banana for now, and yeah, Sunny Bunny, despite Hola Banana dropping his recovery, we are quickly approaching the end of this map. The lead has not budged from 300k, and that is where it will stay. In that 250k to 300k range, and Sunny Bunny, very nice FC to close things out here. And that is a break point for Maryland, taking it right back after losing the Nomad 4. And all things said, some pretty disappointing performances from some of these lower teams here, or there's the other players, even Yan Yan probably wishing he could have matched Sunny Bunny there on the FC like he did to Calico Cat in the DT2. It's gonna be going into the Nomad 1 as they look to reconsolidate that break point. Do unto Georgia what Georgia hath done unto them. Yeah, Maryland, once again, winning on all of the aim picks in this tournament so far. Or at least against Georgia, not even in this tournament, just the qualifiers. I do still have to check the stats for the other rounds, but yeah, qualifiers, Nomad 1 winning by about 100k, the hidden one winning by about 200k, although those are all incredibly high scores, all well above 2 million. Hardock 1, a little bit more comfortable of a gap, of course, however it was banned out this match, as was the DT1, the other. Actually, the DT1 was also fairly close in quals. Somewhere in the range of mid 2 million. The hidden one did go the other way, however, in round of 32. But we are in for some Nomad 1, and I think we'll be mostly looking at that qualifier Nomad 1 score for a point of reference as to how these teams will do. It's pretty tough. It can be a little bit tough for Georgia considering they don't have the most data with Maryland not playing a match last round. So they're not having quite the idea of how they'll scale on some of these harder pools and also perform in match as opposed to in a qualifiers lobby. With qualifiers just can be, they'll have to work with what they've got. We do see the players in the lobby here, of course. Who else but the duo of Thigh High and Yan Yan, this time accompanied by Mr. Throne. Mr. Throne did play 6WC A-Team back a couple years ago, apparently. And since then, of course, coming into the 5-digit rank range, playing for, I believe it was B-Team last year. It's either B or C team, and finally coming up to A-Team. On the other side, it's going to be Skins1 Fan 1, Sunny Bunny, and Whole Banana. Sunny Bunny, some really scary Nomad aim. Going to be looking at him to put up a really nice score. And Skins1 Fan 1, I didn't really get to mention, but they were on that Maryland, or the initial Maryland roster all the way back in 2022. That was the roster that that played the match the only other time that these two teams have faced in 5USC history, but that is a story for another time as we're already into the KI section. Some really big cross-screen jumps. Going to be finding a couple breaks on the bottom row for Georgia. Only trade up by Whole Banana, but there goes Sunny Bunny as well. Now it's just Skins1 Fan 1 against Tarragon. It looks like they had held on to their combos for a little bit longer, and also the low accuracy on Mr. Throne making up quite a bit of this difference here of just about 80k, the 95, 94 AC. Mr. Throne and Yan Yan sitting at around a low 98, even Tarragon a 97. And you compare that to Skins1 Fan 1, 99%, and there goes Tarragon's combo. Skins1 Fan 1 still holding on through all these cross-screen jumps. This man is slopping it up in a tournament match. And Sunny Bunny also holding on to a very nice recovery combo at the moment, 200 and climbing. With Georgia having nothing going into this back half. Yeah, this is looking like a pretty good pick for Maryland at the moment. So you are into another section, another bit of cross-screen jumps. It's going to be Whole Banana and Mr. Throne trading out, but Skins1 Fan 1 still on the FC. This is incredible. He's finally going to break alongside Sunny Bunny, so there's a little bit of room for Georgia to make a comeback here, especially with their 2 recoveries. There's still about a quarter of the map. Each individual player having to make up around 150k each in ground, and it is Thigh High and Yan Yan. If you wanted any players to be on the side of Georgia to try and make this comeback happen, it would be these 2 players, but I think this ending not having a lot of difficulty, but also not having the most combo either, and the score lead is still 200k, and fortunately that map will sputter out. Skins one fan won 700k on this Nomad one. Sunny Bunny spinning all the way up to 500k as well. Those are some really good scores there. So Maryland going to be consolidating their breakpoint. And as the teams have traded breakpoint and consolidation for breakpoint and consolidation, we are all the way back up to even, up to tie game, 2-2. It is Georgia's pick, however. We do have to see if they'll continue down the tapping route. You know, the Nomad 2 wasn't so much tapping as it was tapping adjacent with the flow aim, the Axel decel. So I do still feel like the DT3 and Nomad 5 are good picks for them. Maybe a little bit less so than Nomad 5, as the skill cap is a bit lower for that map. That's a bit easier, a bit more accessible, a bit easier to get the FCs down on the players who can still threaten them. It's going to be a hidden 3, however. I did think this was a bit of a contested pick, and the Force Mod 1 was still quite close earlier. I think one thing that does help, however, is you do get the hidden mod. You get Tarragon on hidden, first of all. And it's probably going to be AC and Yan Yan. That is what we saw for a lot of the gimmicks last round in their match against Pennsylvania. Usually, it mostly was Tarragon, Yan Yan, +1. And then occasionally for some more specialized skill sets like the tapping, one of those players would step out. I guess AC would step out. He is mostly in for the gimmicks. Or excuse me, no, tapping would mostly just be Tarragon, Yan Yan, and then General H. Maybe Mr. Throne. Of course, Shogeki in for the Hard Rocks over there. On the other side for Maryland, I do feel like this is still a pretty decent map for them. Zella comfortable on the ult. Excuse me, why am I talking about Force Mod 1? There hasn't been a Force Mod 1 played in this match. Casters are dumb and have the memory of a goldfish. We do have the players loaded in the lobby. Of course, the only other control pick picked so far was the Nomad 4. Tarragon putting up a 700k on that, and the rest of the lobby all under 500k. We do see, once again, Tarragon, Yan Yan, and Mr. Throne. This does look to be their hidden gimmick roster. Interesting not to see AC 0-1 for this one. You have to wonder if maybe there were some scheduling issues, but this is such a good time of the day. I guess it is a little bit late over on the East Coast, 9:30 p.m. at the moment. So maybe not the most comfortable. But still, having both Tarragon and Yan Yan is going to be quite a nice prospect for them. Sunny Bunny really comfortable on the hidden, so maybe a little bit less so on the ult, especially compared to Zella, John ult. And they are holding on quite nicely to start off. Holo Banana going to be their fill player, who will be the first to break for them. But we've already seen breaks from Tarragon and Yan Yan. It's a little bit of a lead from Maryland at the first break. Of course, still pretty early days, this map. 2 minutes and 37 seconds. It's not super long, but still only about a quarter of the way through. And that intersection is quite hard. But hard intersection means all the more booty for Team Maryland to enjoy. Is Mr. Throne on the lone FC at the moment. A slow section as they do look to build up. Some more free combo here. Yan Yan dropping the recovery again. And there goes Mr. Throne on the FC. It's going to be traded out by Zella. So Sunny Bunny in the 1v1 with the recovery from Tarragon. Sunny Bunny still on an FC. And there he goes. It's Tarragon, the only combo in the lobby. And who else would it be but Tarragon? The score lead is going to... Everyone knows she breaks as well. Missed cursor control. And this lead is going to go back in the favor of Maryland. And I mean, you really need Tarragon to show up. And if she doesn't, then this is just what can happen. Maryland is no slouch on the aim control either. And even though it is the hidden mod, it is a mod that has historically been so good for Georgia. I mean, Maryland are fighting back tooth and nail. And at the moment, they do sit in the lead. There's a little bit of a break on that bottom row. But at this point, Tarragon's combo is matched by Zella, and the score lead should not be going too much further into the ending parts of the map. Not a lot of score potential left, especially to cover a 150,000 score gap, which is what we're looking at the moment. And yeah, the score going up to 250k, and it's actually Tarragon gapped by Zella, almost 100k score. On 4 hours of sleep as well, Tarragon. Not in the best condition, physical condition for this match, it would seem. And that really can swing the outcome when your best player is not firing on all cylinders. Then they won't be able to make the difference that they need to, and all of a sudden it's just a quite an even matchup that's maybe even lopsided the other way. In Maryland, break point again. Break point on the hidden nonetheless. Up 3-2, they are looking for the next pick to consolidate. It's probably just going to be a hidden one, especially after winning the hidden 3 there. They could also go for something like a Hard Rock 3 that is quite aim heavy as well. A little bit of a swing rhythm that doesn't really rear its head too much. It's very quick, it's very simple in its rhythm choice and patterning. We're going to see the hidden 1. So just picking the other remaining 1 in the pool. Of course, there is still Force Mod 1 left after this all, but that is just an alt map, not really an A map. It is the alt map in the pool, I should say. For now, it's the hidden 1. Bit of a classic song, some Keong. Tea time. Should just be seeing Tarragon, Yan Yan, probably Mr. Throne as the third for this one. I mean, this is the thing is this is Sunny Bunny's playground. Just hidden aim. There's a little bit of a diff spike tapping section in the middle, and they did not normally the best tapping player, but this is still well within their wheelhouse. 175 BPM, incredibly low, and we did see them drop that incredible No Mod 2 score earlier. So should be fine. We are looking at the supporting players for this one. Looking at Skins1, Fan1, Good on the hidden mod as well. And better Meeman as well. It looks to be. Normally in for the reading maps that this team plays, but of course banning out the reading this time. Easy one, hidden two. So none of those to be played, and some players with some maybe a little bit better hands for the hidden three, but he will come in for the hidden one. So Maryland look to consolidate their break point on another aim pick. And as to where they go from there, I mean, they do have some options. They have the DT4, which is some more flowing, pretty similar to the No Mod 2, which they won earlier on a break point. There is also some the Hard Rock 3 that I mentioned earlier. Of course, the alt yet to be tested. And I guess they did just win on the hidden quote-unquote alt aim control pick there. The other tech pick not quite working out in their favor, but I think the other alt picks should be pretty appealing to them. Of course, getting to put your star alt player John Alt Zella on his favorite skill set is quite a nice prospect. We do have just the classic anime J-Rock song structure here, finally building up into the first TI with 3 FCs on each side, and it is the Mexican standoff is just wait to see who breaks. And it's gonna be Mr. Throne, gonna be traded out by Better Beeman immediately. However, so we are right back where we started. This score lead, non-existent. Here we go into some awkward aim. We've seen some pretty big breaks here earlier today, and it's gonna be Skins One Fan One to find the only break, but straight up by Yan, but Sunny Bunny as well, and it's just Tarragon again. Just Tarragon on the FC, going into a bit of free combo in this next slow section. And if she can just hold until that diff spike, then that might just be enough work. Assuming we see a lot more breaks there. Skins One Fan One finding a little bit of a discomfort in the slow section, unfortunately. You really want to be building up that combo now. Bide your time until the diff spike and try and hit it. Tapping the cut streams. Get ready for that. And be able to capitalize on any opportunity given to you. We are finally into that second Ki, so a little bit bigger spacing on the jumps. The patterning is still pretty simple here. It's not quite awkward aim. The only major difference, or the only major real difficulty per se, being the AR9 with hidden, but when the BPM is this low, the AR9 isn't doing that much. And it's going to be Yanyan to be dropping his combo right before the diff spike, and here we go. Tarragon still holding on. 800 combo, 150k score lead. Can she hit the diff spike? Better Meeman, Sunny Bunny, and Mr. Throne all with recoveries, waiting to pounce and capitalize on a mistake. Here we go into the flow section. Tarragon holding on. Mr. Throne to drop. But the 2.5 recoveries from Maryland hold Sunny Bunny and Better Meeman on a big chain miss, and there goes Skins One Fan One as well. It's just Sunny Bunny against Tarragon, with this 1k combo from Tarragon right now is barreling towards an FC, and Sunny Bunny, despite his incredible combo, Tarragon gonna be hitting the last hard flow pattern of the map, and she should just be walking that one home with a break point traded right back as well. Maryland taking the hidden 3 and then picking the hidden 1, handing point right back to Georgia. And we can just sort of enjoy the ending of this map as looking at the upper left of our screen. Tarragon will neatly close that one out. Fortunately, Sunny Bunny just missing once. I believe it was on the awkward aim. But that one miss is enough to make the difference. They would have gotten around a low 900k, so it would have been incredibly close. It might have been enough to flip things. It might have not been. All depends on the accuracy and how much they lose, how much he loses in comparison to Tarragon's score. does go back to Georgia as things are tied up once again, 3-3, and we just have gone back and forth over and over again. These teams cannot keep the lead for long. It's going to be Hard Rock 3, which I thought was going to be a pretty good pick for Georgia. It is incredibly aimy, but maybe the slidery elements, the slider aim, the slider jumps, not really slider aim, more so slider jumps. Georgia going to be putting their bets on that one. .220 BPM, but of course this is swing, so looking more like a 170 or so. Just take 3/4 of that BPM. Excuse me, not 170, more like a 150 or so in terms of the effective alt BPM. Somewhere between 140 and 150. Of course, with the Hard Rock stats, it is Air 10, OD10, CS 5.2. Swing rhythm on OD10, normally pretty tricky, and we did see some interesting accuracies, some struggling accuracies earlier today. But I do maintain the belief that this map is pretty easy to hack, simply due to the fairly repetitive rhythms and also repetitive visual patterning, so it's going to be pretty easy to read, mostly relying on your raw aim and ability to process patterns on OD10 all across your screen. Of course, we do have that duo of Tarragon and Yan in there. No Shogeki. Did expect to see him for this one, so we'll have to see if he comes in to replace Mr. Throne. But no, we do see the GLHFs in chat, so it does look like this will be our roster. And on the other side, it's going to be Zella, Hola Banana, their Phil, and Skinsman Fan One. Not exactly the alt players, so I mean, Skinsman Fan One, an alt player, not exactly the aim players, excuse me. Sunny Bunny maybe still struggling a little bit with the high AR, despite the new monitor. A fun fact about this song that is slowly becoming more and more well-known. JKT48, sister group of AKB48, based out of Indonesia. So these are Indonesian idols speaking in a bit of a combination of their mother tongue and Japanese, as you can kind of tell from Hisatsu Teleport. We're seeing a lot of interesting early breaks here. Not the most enthusiastic about those. I don't think there's any full combos left in the lobby at this moment, actually. And a quick check on the accuracies does tell us that Maryland has a little bit of a lead. Zella at 97 accuracy. And it's Mr. Throne all the way down at 91. We've seen some struggles with him on the act so far, and it's going to be more struggles on the aim as well. So we go into the first Ki, first real test of the aim, the slider jumps. Kind of holding on nicely so far, but we'll see how long this stare-off lasts. Skinsman Fan One on a very nice combo at the moment. It might actually be an FC. It's going to be Zella to break on the burst, and Skinsman Fan One also to follow up the trade. So Yan and Tarragon, once again, being Yan and Tarragon, holding on the aim consistency, the swing aim. Fortunately, it is the flow that catches the two combos of Maryland, and this score lead is inching over to the other side, just about ready to flip. I mean, these accuracies are pretty low on the side of Georgia. 93 for Tarragon, 91 on Mr. Throne. Yan is still doing fine at 96. Oh, there goes combo full of banana, and this is really starting to look good for Georgia now. Yan and Tarragon, such big combos here, and they just keep on holding. Skinsman Fan One also not doing so great in the accuracy department either. Mid 92 at the moment, a little barely better than Mr. Throne, who continues to struggle actually. So I do think his score is holding back the growth a little bit for now. Maybe Zella to trade in. Yeah, there's just not a lot of combos on Maryland, not a lot of big combos. There goes Tarragon, however. Start of the next Ki. Bit of a delayed trade by Whole Banana, but there's still might be some time to bring things back. But Skinsman Fan one breaking, and Zella going down right afterwards. I think even if Yan Yan drops his combo here, there is nothing left to do in this map. We'll see him drop his combo, so nothing too amazing on this map. Just what looks to be about a 500, 600k score for Yan Yan. The consistency on the aim jumps, a little bit tough for both of these teams, and maybe a little bit of that higher skill cap for Georgia, paying dividends, of course, when you have Tarragon and Yan Yan. What else is there to say about that? So yeah, Georgia finally going to be finding a point of their own. If Maryland also managed to secure their own point here, then that means we will have gone through every possible pattern of sets, actually. A set being one set of one team picking a map and then another team picks a map. Would have gone through all 4 different possible combinations of results. The first one being Georgia takes both points, the second one being Maryland takes both points, and then they trade break points in the third one, and then this would be they take their own points. That should be Yan Yan giving the hello there, Tarragon. It is Maryland's pick, however. We'll have to see where they go. It's a bit of a tricky spot now because you did lose the hidden aim. And there's no more hidden left in the pool. You're starting to run out of aim picks as well. There is still the DT4 if you want to replicate the flow aim success from Nomad 2, but Hard Rock 3, pretty aim slanted. And losing out there. Also a little bit alt adjacent, you could call. You could say. There's still a question of what to do about the Nomad 3 and the Force Mod 1, the alt picks of the map. And it does look like we'll be answering that question here. Zella picking the Force Mod 1. John Alt, the captain, saying, "Put me in, coach." And of course, he is the coach, so responding with, "You're in." Gonna be interesting to see what mods he takes. Mods his team takes. I think Skins 1 Fan 1 we in for the hidden. Quite good at hidden and alt, and maybe better meme in for the hidden as well. Actually, we could see an easy for them. I'm not entirely filled in on their easy game. Yeah, but if there's no real better option, then we could just see another hole of banana fill as well, of course. Of course, you are just expecting to see Tarragon hidden and Mr. Throne. Probably, I don't know, actually, about Mr. Throne. I feel like this could be an AC easy angle, although it has to be said the easy multiplier is really not that worth it on this map. The hidden is easy enough, and it's only 2.1x easy multiplier, so you're capping yourself at 1.05 million score, whereas hidden mod multiplier 1.06 million, already better off. Just trying to FC with hidden with Goodak as opposed to easy with Goodak. We do have the rosters in the lobby. It looks like it will not be Hola Banana or better meme. It's going to be Sunny Bunny for the hidden here. Just try to treat this 132 BPM as some high BPM awkward aim, I think. And it's going to be, of course, Tarragon and Yan Yan. It's going to be Mr. Throne to fill things out. Not who I thought it would be. I thought maybe we would see a Shogeki Hard Rock, but maybe a little bit too washed and generally probably not quite comfortable enough on this map. A little bit interesting that we haven't seen AC yet, as I do believe they didn't play the Hidden 3 either, which I really thought they'd be in for, so maybe just not here today. As I do know they were trying to get some last-minute reschedules to 2 UTC for this match, of course. End up starting at 1 UTC, so maybe that did have to do with AC not being able to make the initial time. Looking at the mods, it is a little bit surprising to see Tarragon on the Hardock as well. Maybe they are just comfortable enough that they can just post an FC. This map being a little bit hidden favored. So maybe saying, hey, you know, you guys can take the hiddens and do just fine, put some really good scores, and I'll just try and put up a really good Hardock score. On the other side, of course, Zella on the Hardock, accompanied by Skins1Fan1 and Sunny Bunny on the hiddens, the hidden comfort players, and they are holding on nicely in this first KI. Already a double break on the side of Georgia. Yanin and Mr. Throne both going down and go. There goes Tarragon as well. It's going to be Skins1Fan1 to trade, but still Zella and Sunny Bunny with the double FC. Going to be pulling out to almost a 200k score lead already. Accuracy also playing nicely in their favor. Mr. Throne again struggling all the way down at 94. The lowest in the lobby at the moment. As Bancho struggles a little bit to keep up. I've never seen this either. I don't know what's going on with Bancho here. Alright, we'll try and get back into the map, and alright, we're back to normalcy. Cool. Bancho just likes to be weird today, I guess. But I mean, it does look like the score is not calculating correctly, unless that is correct. That is correct. Oh my goodness, this is... Jeez, this is a bit of a gap we have come back to here. Zella and Sunny Money still holding on to their FCs, and of course, with those mod multipliers already being the last quarter of the map, 600,000 score lead, and I think Maryland have just found their last pick of this match as well. Yen Yen dropping his recovery, so now it's just Tarragon and Mr. Throne into the ending. But of course, nowhere near enough score potential to bring this one back, and that is 2 million team score into the ending of this one. Zella finally going to be dropping the FC on the Hardock, but it's Sunny Bunny to carry it into the finish line, not quite finding a slider break at the end, but still 97 AC on the hidden and a high 96 for Zella on the Hardock is incredible work. And of course, a very nice 500k supporting score from Skins1Fan1. And it's just struggles for Georgia. Tarragon finally tripping up a little bit. 2x slider break despite her wonderful accuracy. Yeah, Mr. Throne really struggling a lot. Probably trying to pick into the things that AC would normally be in for. And it seems like they found a little bit of a weak underbelly for this Georgia team. The hidden 3, finding a break point there. And now winning the Force Mod 1 as well. The alt aim control does seem to be the name of the game for Maryland. As they do even things up 4-4. 1 pick left for each of these teams. Georgia has to be careful to not give up another breakpoint here, as with no Mod 3 still on the table and a performance like that on Free Force Mod 1 just now, a breakpoint would certainly be catastrophic. And just to remind everyone, Georgia coming off of that second place finish from last year, losing Ribbon, Pieman Ray, and Glix Hunter. For those of you who remember Glix Hunter's legendary performance on the tiebreaker of Grand Finals last year. Certainly one to remember for a long time. And now replacing them with 3 newer members, Mr. Throne, General H, and AC, and seeding quite a bit lower this year. It's been a rough time, seeded 12, and now under quite some heat from Maryland, and this is even after taking Pennsylvania all the way to the limit. On the other side, Maryland, it has been a bit of a drought in the past couple years, of course, losing their two top players, Kisoi and Gilgamesh, to the 4-digit rank range. And so those consecutive second and third podium finishes from 2023 and 2024 going poof last year, but looking to show that their rebuild is strong and their rebuild is here to play. Finishing 17th through 24th last year, looking to improve on that. Should they lose here, of course, they will finish with the same 1-2 record. But should they win, they will take one step forward for their state. So the Hard Rock 2 pick for Georgia. A little bit of a coin flip pick normally, but maybe trying to rely a bit on some of that skill cap from Tarragon and Yan Yan. Mr. Throne likely to be struggling here again as this map is so difficult. CS 8.1 on AR10. And it's also a bit of an awkward alt BPM 120. We'll have to see if that catches anyone out, as it looks like Maryland has been quite successful on the alt aim control stuff. Of course, it is just some pretty simple linears, the patterning not too difficult, especially with the map as hard as it is already with the CS8 gimmick on AR10 nonetheless. And yet the raw SR of this map is also quite low, 5.76. We are getting into things. Maryland. It's going to be Zella, accompanied by Skins1 Fan1 and Whole Banana. Maybe not the strongest roster of all time for this one, especially you just have two fill players, Skins1 Fan1. Not only a hidden enjoyer. Not the biggest fan of the AR10, from what I know. So the prospects are decent for Georgia. It's going to be likely a matchup of Zella and Hola Banana up against Tarragon and Yan Yan. It's going to be Hola Banana the first to blink as the spacing increases. The density has yet to come. After this little intro section, we will see a little bit of a kick up into some actual alt patterns. Here we go. The first pattern, it's Hola Banana and Skins1 Fan1 to break. Zella to hold, and all three combos from Georgia still alive. The double FCs from Tarragon and Yan Yan, and the recovery from Mr. Throne at the moment. Yan Yan could be falling, however, in this little KI section. It's only a very small lead in favor of Georgia right now, as their accuracies are holding them back so much. Zella a 97, almost 98, but he's going to break and drop his combo, and that should finally send things in favor of Georgia. Tarragon on a very nice combo here, as is Mr. Throne. The accuracies are low, but the combo is there, and the score lead will follow 120,000. And who else but Tarragon to continue the momentum in this map? One of the best players in our country, second place in AIDS 2 last year, and A-team for 5WC this year. Looking to put on a big carry performance for her state to try and put them on match point first, as she has secured quite a healthy lead at this point, 300,000 score and climbing. Maryland trying to put some recoveries together, but this map is so hard to be consistent on. The CS8 just putting them down in the dumps. Tarragon is still holding, my goodness. Yeah, as Maryland flounder into the ending of this Hard Rock 2. Who else but Tarragon to put up 800k on the CS8 Hard Rock 2 for a 92% FC? What are you doing? Hello? Do you think this is just the no mod 3 pick? And there it is. After a very successful run on the Force Mod 1, this is Maryland's confident bid to take us to what awaits us. The end of a best of 11 that has come to a 5-5 standstill. We have yet to reach that point. There's still more work to do. It's going to be Zella looking to his compatriots. Likely Sunny Bunny and Skins1 Fan1 again, as they look to take on the dynamic duo of Tarragon and Yan Yan. Likely to be Mr. Throne, the third man on the side of Georgia. What a better song than this one to finish off regulation. It's Suisei, it's Starry Jet. We're all going to be jamming along to this one. The longest map in the pool by far, just over 4 minutes, of course excluding the tiebreaker. 144 BPM flow alt question mark, because like Hard Rock 3, there's quite a bit of aim. It's definitely more alty than Hard Rock 3, Hard Rock 3 being much heavier on the aim than this map. This one does actually have some flow out patterns, and of course, in that solo section, Amateur does go a little bit crazy with some patterns. We do have the rosters in the lobby. It does look like it's a repeat of the Force Mod 1. Zella, Sunny Bunny, and Skins1 Fan1. Tarragon and Mr. Throne gonna be swapping out Yan Yan for Shogeki, making his first appearance since that first map in on the DT2. Been waiting on the sidelines this entire time. And coming in to try and close this one out, stop Maryland in their tracks. Here we go. Maryland's bid to bring us to tiebreaker. What a tiebreaker it would be for them on the precipice of showing that they can do well in this tournament even without the likes of Kisoi and Gilgamesh. It'll be one Starry Jet to drive them, fly them into the future. Of course, they do have to get to tiebreaker first. The intro starting off slow, as these maps do. All the players holding on nicely in the intro. We do start barreling towards that first Ki section where the difficulty will definitely have a little bit of an uptick. It's first to the break is going to be Shogeki on a little bit of the aim. Here we go into some flow out patterns, the wiggles, back and forth, not catching anyone. And it's just some aim mechanics, getting from slider to slider, aiming from point A to point B. The alt patterns not quite complex enough to trip up anyone. It's just the miss on the aim from Shogeki at the moment. That does give Maryland the ever so slightest of edges. But this map, quite long, and the stakes of a miss, of dropping your combo, only increasing as this map goes on and we go ever so closer to that halfway point, the dreaded 600k score cap mark. You do not want to miss now, not for the next 30 seconds. There goes Skin One Fan One. Gonna be traded out by Shogeki, and Terron goes down 2 on the ult. It is Zella. John ult himself to hold. Sunny Bunny gonna be backing him up, and Mr. Throne, the only FC, finding a slider break. And Georgia is in shambles as Maryland running towards Georgia to stand alongside them as they look to make the dive into the final stages of this match. Zella and Sunny Bunny now running away with these two FCs. Skins One Fan One will drop his recovery, but it matters not. 300,000 score into the div spike. Zella hits the div spike. What are you doing, Zella? You are John ult, and he holds through the section into the last Ki. What are you doing, brother? The rest of the lobby has collapsed. It is only Tarragon with a modicum of a recovery. But Zella, he keeps on going and going and going. The starry sky to shine light on Maryland's path to life in this tournament. He is not missing. What is this? %98% he misses on one of the flow patterns, but it doesn't matter. This map is already well within Maryland's hands. 400,000 score is their game. And Tarragon will put up a nice resistance of a recovery. 700 combo going into the ending. Probably going to reach 800 here, but Zella has done what he must. The captain coming in to put up an FC choke, 700,000 score on his main skill set. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to tiebreaker. Walkware attack by Warukuere. 6.58 stars, 5 minutes and 2 seconds. 178 BPM. Any other stats? Gonna be Air 9.5, CS4, Air 9, HP 5. Standard stats. But we have 5 minutes of mixed mechanics ahead of us here. Gonna be some aim consistency on the lower BPM and some pretty big flowing sections. The streams do get quite spaced. So a test of the mixed mechanics. If you're a tapping player, gonna be tough to hold on the aim sections, and if you're an aim player, then you'll get your free combo only to break on tapping every 400 to 500 combo or so. So you really need to be proficient in both in order to hold a really good score on this one. Looking to see that lobby in just a moment so we can see who's coming in for this. It probably is going to be the usual suspects of Paragon Yan Yan. And it does seem like Mr. Throne has just been forced to be that third man this entire match. AC not able to make it. General H a little bit more focused on the tapping rather than the aim mechanics. And Shogeki a little bit too washed at the moment. Mr. Maryland likely to see Sunny Bunny maybe even on a hidden preference mod. As Kevin, we do want to see that gameplay screen. GLHFs are in chat, and we do see it. It's Better Meeman, the reading player of the team, also a tapping fill on the lower BPM maps. And it's going to be a Hola Banana, the all-rounder fill, to fill out the roster for Maryland. But you do not get Zella, the captain, in for this one. You do not get Skins 1 Fan 1, the big veteran from 5USC1. It's going to be Better Meeman, Hola Banana, and Sunny Bunny up against Mr. Throne, Yan Yan, and Tarragon. We do see a couple of hidden preference mods coming out here from Sunny Bunny and Better Meeman. So maybe a little bit of extra score to help them out there. But you do really need to see the big combos, as we're certainly to see a big combo from Tarragon despite the 4 hours of sleep she got last night. Building up into the first Ki, it is Mr. Throne, the only one to find an early break, but a map this long, the accuracy will matter a little bit more, and we have seen him struggle a little bit on accuracy so far. We'll see how he does in this map. Just a very simple no mod one, straightforward mechanics, but we are into the Ki section. Big jumps, not catching anyone out yet, but there is some more to come. Is some more to come into the big first stream. But there's the big stream, and it's going to catch Mr. Throne. The big spacing and the awkward sharp angle change going from the nice curvature into the linear motion will break his combo. Better Meeman to trade a little bit after. So right now it is just the accuracy that is making the difference between these two teams. 98, 98, and 96 for Maryland, and 98, 97, and 95 for Georgia. Excuse me, that is just on the brink of 98 for Yan Yan. To go into the second verse, 2 FCs to 2, Tarragon and Yan Yan versus Hola Banana and Sunny Bunny. Of course, the hidden mod bonus helping to pad that scoreline a little bit as well. To another build-up section. All players need to be holding here, waiting for that second Ki. Awkward Aim not tripping up anyone, but the build-up, not just the song intensity and the map intensity, but also the nerves as we are approaching that halfway section. The big aim is still holding on. All of the combos hold. Both the FCs and the recoveries into some more streams, though. Better Meeman and Mr. Throne, keep your eyes on them. It's Better Meeman to drop it. There goes Hola Banana as well. It's going to be straight up by Yanin, but Tarragon still holding on to the FC. It's a 1v1 between her and Sunny Bunny as Mr. Throne holds on to the recovery, the lone recovery that can make the difference in this one as we go into the solo section. Mr. Throne has to hold on to bring the score over. It is not on their side yet. 30,000 score made up by the act difference and the hidden mod multiplier as well. Here we go into the stream section. Maybe a little bit stamina intensive for some players, and Sunny Bunny needs to hold on, especially to match the high. There goes Hola Banana's combo as well, and a little bit of a chain miss on this flow. But there goes the score finally in Georgia's hands for the first time this map. Better Meeman dropping the recovery as well, and the supporting combos are just not there for Sunny Bunny. Meanwhile, they are there for Tarragon as Mr. Throne still holding on 1,000 combo and counting. Finally finds a big chain miss on the flow aim, but Sunny Bunny still to hold. Yan Yan, however, is coming back with another recovery as well to back up Tarragon, and Tarragon is still on this FC to match Sunny Bunny. There is just not enough room for Maryland, and they need something to happen soon. 50k into the last quarter of the map is the score difference. We're looking at Yan Yan, we're looking at Tarragon, and we're looking at Sunny Bunny into the ending. Control your nerves and hold on, Maryland. You must show that this is your best performance ever since rebuilding, since Hisoi and Gilgamesh left you behind. It's going to be Better Meeman and Hola Banana to drop their combos. Yan Yan also finding the drop, and there's recovery, and there goes Mr. Throne as well, but Tarragon still holding on into the ending, and this might not be enough if Tarragon can just hold. 70k is the name of the game, and there goes Sunny Bunny as well. There go the hopes and dreams of Maryland, and that bunny is no longer so sunny. Maryland, after a valiant attempt, finding the weak underbelly, the alt weakness of this Georgia team at the penultimate hour, the 11th hour. It is not enough. Tarragon standing tall into the ending, bringing this FC home for Georgia, and Maryland will not find the breakthrough. Georgia still ever strong, and they will be the ones to move forward in this losers bracket of 5USC 2026. Tragic failure for Maryland at the 11th hour, finding the force mod 1 and the no mod 3 for their final picks and bringing things to tiebreaker. Sunny Bunny with incredible work into the ending there, matching Tarragon for 90% of the map, but that last 10% was what mattered in the end. And of course the supporting combos also lacking just a little too much. Maryland will fail to show improvement from last year. No Kisoi, no Gilgamesh, no win is still their story. In the meantime, Georgia will be moving on to the second round of the losers quarterfinals. Congratulations to Tarragon, Yan Yan, AC, General H, Mr. Throne, and Shogeki. For now, that will be all from me, as we do have a couple more matches in just a bit. In fact, it is already 2 ETC. We do have 2 matches going on right now. That is Michigan A versus Stateless A on, I believe, the A stream, that is, and Massachusetts A versus Colorado on the E stream. Lots of Major League action going on right now. And then, of course, in just a few more minutes, around 10 minutes or so, we're going to be back with New York versus Indiana. So make sure you head over to those right now. And if you are interested in sticking around on the beat, we will be heading over to the B stream for that one. If you're interested in some more action from me, bringing you New York versus Indiana, make sure to head over there in 10 minutes. But for now, that has been all from me. I've been blessed. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, thank you to Kevin for streaming and dealing with all the issues that Bancho loves to throw at us. For now, that's going to be all from us. Catch you later. See you next time. Go to those other streams. There's still more action coming your way. We'll be right back.